So once again, good morning. I think it's a good time to start. We are right on schedule. So welcome to a second webinar in our webinar series focusing on innovative projects funded by different EU programs. Besides this upskill project, in February we presented the METO project, and on the 14th of May we will present Poly-Inspire project. So these webinars are organized by Polymer Comply Europe, on behalf of European Plastics Converters, UPC, and today's webinar is organized fully remotely due to the current situation, but we hope that in our future webinars it will be possible to host our guests in UPC facilities in Brussels. So our topic today is digitalization in industries, and here we will present the UPSKILL project, which stands for the skills for the digital future of plastics factories. So UPSKILL is a project co-founded by Erasmus Programme of the European Union, and it started in November 2018. There are 9 project partners that include the WP3 providers, which stands for vocational and educational training providers, and different associations. And the contribution from the EU for the project's budget is around 700,000. The UPC is in charge of the dissemination and exploitation activities for the UPSKILL project. Of course, this then webinar is one of our communication activities foreseen in the project. So it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome Gražina from Limpra in Lithuania and Mark from ISPA in France. Just a brief introduction of our guests. Gražina has a bachelor's degree of education science and master's degree of company law. She worked for 5 years as international relations manager at the Ministry of Finance of the Republic of Lithuania, and from 2008 to education field. Among other projects, she's a project coordinator for the UPSKILL project. On the other hand, Mark worked for 10 years as an electronic engineer in France and in the US, and specialized in microcontroller positioning systems for telecommunications. Then after that, he held different positions, such as department manager, teacher in the Regional Vocational Training Center for Industry, and e-learning project manager in the same training center. Since 2014, Mark is a science teacher and a project manager at ISPA in France. Now to start, as I said, just to have a look of our agenda. Gražina, just change first slide, please. No. So for the agenda, as I said, we started with welcome and introduction. We'll get a short intro on Limpra. Then we'll have an UPSKILL general presentation, short info on ISPA from Mark, and latest developments in piloting week. And then we'll move to the Q&A session, and then we'll close our webinar. So envisaged time is 1 hour. So from now on, I will give the floor to Gražina. She will, as I said, present Limpra and our UPSKILL project.
Okay, thank you, Mario. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I would like to give some words about Limpra. We are the main coordinators of the UPSKILL project, and we are an engineering industries association of Lithuania. We unite many manufacturing companies and educational institutions. Mainly our companies operate in the following fields, such as rubber and plastics, computer, electronic and optical products, machinery and equipment, education and R&D, electrical equipment, motor vehicles, basic metals, and some in subcontracting. We as association, we have the main goal. We seek to increase international competitiveness and to set up economic and social development of our companies. So in order to achieve this, we are mainly working in 4 directions. So we are working to improve business environment for companies of engineering industry. To do that, we represent our companies in government institutions. We formate the opinion of industrial companies and represent it when it is needed. Secondly, we encourage export development, which means that we bring our companies to international exhibitions so that they could present their work, what products they manufacture, and probably find some clients from abroad. Thirdly, we are working to increase synergy in R&D between education institutions and business, because still there's a problem that scientists and education institutions are working their own direction and business needs quite other solutions. So our work is to help them to find dialogue and to work in one direction here. Finally, we are working to improve quality of that education and public employment services. So the UPSKILL project is one of the examples of our work in this field, because it adds to the improvement of vocational education and training. And having said this, I would like to move on and to speak about the UPSKILL project. So firstly, I will talk about some facts and figures, project's main objectives, the importance of digital transformation, and I will give an overview of our consortium, our partners. So some facts. The full title of the project is the Skills for the Digital Future of Plastic Factories. The project started on the 1st of November in 2018, and it was estimated that it will take for about 2 years. But now we see that due to the current situation in the world, some work might be suspended and it will probably take more time to fulfill our obligations. There are 9 partners that include VET providers. There are 4 VET providers and associations. And the EU contribution in this project is around €700. So we set 2 main objectives here. I would say even 2 phases of the project. At the first phase, we had to analyze and identify qualifications and European VET curricula for plastics machine operators. So the research was performed, and the plastics sector in Lithuania, Finland, Belgium, and France was analyzed to discover what is needed, what skills are needed. As a result, in the research, we provided recommendations for VET curriculum so that we would know what we need to include in this curriculum and in these programs. So the first stage more or less is over. We have the report, and we have
we also published these deliverables, right? So they are also available.
Yes, anyone, we share it with everyone. If you need, just write us. So, and at the second stage now, we need to develop training material. And training material is for teachers and for students. It will be developed according to the model VET curriculum. So we are now working on it. Now, as regards digital transformation, there's no news that the world is changing very quickly, and manufacturers all around the world are digitalizing all the processes in their factories, and it is really, this process is really fast. And unfortunately, there is a problem that training institutions cannot adapt to the demand so quickly. Therefore, the European Commission issued many policies to respond to this need, and as priority, they set up that these training programs need to be adapted. Having in mind this background, we have started this project. So we have here vet providers from Lithuania, Finland, and France. We have associations from Belgium, Lithuania, France, and Finland. And here we have one public body from Lithuania, which will be responsible for formalizing all the material, the program, so that it would become official in Lithuania. Now I will move on and speak a little bit about our approach. The plastic industry and the challenges it faces, the aim of the project and activities in the project, and then about target groups of our project. So the European plastics industry enables innovation, facilitates resource efficiency, and creates jobs. It is a really strong and modern sector, which really employs many people. It comprises about 1 million jobs. Therefore, it is really important for the whole Europe. And as other manufacturers working in plastics industry face the same problems because they don't have a qualified workforce, and they feel the lack of highly competent and motivated workforce. So here we have an aim to reduce the gap and to help all of them to have such employees who could correspond to their needs. So here in the project, we aim at the digital skills, we aim at the green skills and entrepreneurial competences. So we very much hope that we will enhance the quality of vocational training and improve the competences not only of students but as well of teachers who are working in plastic sector. We very much hope that our VET curriculum will be relevant to the labor market, and that we will provide students and teachers with the opportunity to use innovative digital material. And we hope that this material will be used not only in public schools but also in companies. So what are the main activities here? As I have already said, we have work package 1, and we have already performed a research here. And as a result, we have developed the VET curriculum in work package 2. According to the model VET curriculum, we are now working on training material for students and teachers. When we have everything done here, we will need to go further with piloting. The first stage of piloting was already performed, and I think that Mark will tell more about this, because Finnish and French teachers went to Lithuania for 1 week to pilot some training material which is already prepared. And accordingly, we have here work package 5, 6, and 7. These activities are ongoing from the start till the end of the project. We need to ensure the quality of the products, the quality of all the processes. We need to ensure dissemination and exploitation with the help of Marian. And here, as a project manager, I'm responsible for the whole management, which is also ongoing from the start till the end. So the target groups of our project are students and apprentices in vocational education, but we are not limited only to them. The materials might be used by everyone, professionals and teachers, staff of vocational education providers, in-company trainers, all operators who are already working in manufacturing companies, Of course, it also might be used for unemployed people who want to change their qualification, for migrants, for adults aiming for requalification. So generally, this material might be used for everyone who only has a wish for that. Now I will come to show you what results we are expecting here. The first one, which luckily has already been reached, we have developed a model VET curriculum, which might be a little bit changed after the piloting, if we see that any changes are needed. And now we are working on training material for students and teachers, and we hope to train 20 VET trainers and 50 students. This will be done during piloting. And all material at the end will be produced in 4 languages of partner countries, and we hope that it will improve the competence of VET teachers and plastic machine operators. And we very much hope that the aim result will be reached, meaning that the business needs will be corresponded, and we have here in Europe the curriculum which is innovative and which is used by the companies. So the curriculum that was set comprises these main skills: basic skills on manufacturing of plastic products, job-specific skills, programming and digital skills, robotics, green skills, lean manufacturing, entrepreneurial skills, health and safety at work. In our opinion, these are the main skills that are needed. We think that not only technical skills which are needed to perform work in a manufacturing company, but as well, student needs to have a wider perspective, and he needs to have those green skills and lean manufacturing and entrepreneurial skills. Here is more information about what is especially important for us. So as I have already mentioned, digital skills, sustainability skills, which are also very relevant nowadays, and lean manufacturing, which also adds to the effective use of all materials, safety at work, and quality. But not we hope not to stop at the point of reaching the project results which were set in the application, but we very much hope to reach expected long. We hope that the program and the training material will be used further on, and that plastic machine operators will be capable of systematic thinking and entrepreneurial mindset due to technical, lean manufacturing and soft skills, because they were integrated in the VET curriculum. We hope that employees and students will be quick in acquiring fast-track skills for employment, and that companies will get the employees they need quickly without any delays, because students will be prepared and the quality of their knowledge will be high. And we hope that VET providers will cooperate more, and they will find solutions together with industrial companies. So here we are, nice and beautiful, from our meeting in Finland. And if you need more information, please address the UPSKILL project. All material which is uploaded here is available for everyone, and when we have more results, we will definitely share them with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Grażyna. So I think that everyone now got a pretty good understanding of the UPSKILL project, as well as what are the important skills that we're going to tackle and look, mainly the digital skills, entrepreneurial skills, sustainability or being skills, lean manufacturing. And of course, I think that our listeners or viewers understood where we currently are with the project. So from there, we're going to move to Mark. Mark will present first his organization, ISPA from France. And then we will talk a bit about ongoing progress of the project, mainly looking at the training materials that Virginia already mentioned, but also some learnings that we got from the first piloting week that happened in Lithuania. So we had French and Finnish teachers going out there and trying some of the training materials, so personally on the ground with the students. So Mark, I'm going to give you now just a second. Just small seconds, minor problems. I can't make you a presenter right now. Grażyna, maybe just you can move on with the presentation, okay. And Mark, you start off. Okay, thank you. Mark, we can't hear you again.
Can you hear me now?
Excellent.
Okay, good. Sorry for that. Okay, in the first place I will present ISPA, which is one of the partners, as Virginia said. We are a VET partner, vocational and educational training center. So we are located 200 kilometers west of Paris in France, in Alençon, which is a small town. Okay, Virginia, you can go ahead. Okay, we are located. ISPA is located on the campus, Alençon campus, which is a small campus with 1,500 students and 8 centers, educational centers, national or private centers. We have at ISPA we have 3 different fields of activities: educational and training, of course, with apprentices and also working persons who are getting trained at ISPA in the field of plastics processing. Of course, we have a technical hub that I'm going to present further here. The technical hub is composed of injection processing machines, 14 machines. We have one connected machine, extrusion, thermoforming, composites, also, and also compoundings, robotics, of course, which are peripherals for the machines, and decoration, and all kinds of peripherals like grinders, and dryers, and so on. We also have a very dynamic scientific hub with a laboratory doing a lot of research, particularly for companies, like in the thermal and chemical characterization fields, mechanical and rheology fields. Okay. ISPA has been in Alençon for 35 years, and we have actually 2 main fields of activities. ISPA CIVAP, in which we trained, as I said, apprentices from the technician level to engineer and executive master, which is a new diploma that we are just starting this year. We have about 200 apprentices per year, and we started last year. We tried to enlarge our panel of training programs. With the technician is a new one for us this year, and we hope to give a very good answer to the industry needs at that level of competencies. And regarding this program, of course, upskill is very interesting also. The second field of activities are can you go back? Thank you. The second field of activities is towards enterprises, companies, with the research center I talked about already, and vocational training. We have a very strong activity for employees training, and we have about 2,000 trainees per year in that field. So that's very short training programs. Just one point also about our research activity. Right now we have 3 very strong fields of research, which are recycling, bio-based materials, and thermoplastic composites.
So all
yes?
Very relevant topics, I would say. Okay.
Okay, and we also have for our engineering program, we have a partnership with the Institut Mines Telecom, which is a big national engineering school. Mm-hmm. Okay. I wanted to talk about a little bit about our international mobility program, which is a very strong big strength of our activity. Since we have 83 international internship in last year, and we have over 550 international mobilities since 2010. We send our students in now more than 32 different countries all over the world, and we also have a very special partnership with BASF in Germany. And we have an exchange program with them every year, and that lasts 6 weeks program, and that's been lasting for many years, and we hope it will keep going on for a long time. Okay, now I'm going to present our work, the work we've been developing on upskill through the work package number 3, which ISPA is the leader on that package. Mm-hmm. So I am the project manager of that part of the project with all our partners. I just start with the description of the package. As Virginia said, here we are in the design of the training material for students and also for teachers. That's a very important aspect of the program. So the training tools consist in developing a student's book and a teacher's book based on the plastic machine-lined conductor. You've seen in the Regina's presentation, she talked about operators. Actually, we've been kind of moving the profile of the job, of the position, to the plastic machine-lined conductor. We have long discussions about the difference between the 2 positions, but I think we all agree now with this position. And of course, we develop through the materials. We develop all the technical aspects of the position, but also, as Gajina said, the digital, green, social, and personal competencies that are complementary and to our point, very important competencies also. The work package is is composed of 3 tasks. The first one is deals with the student's book, for which ISPA is the leader. And task number 2 is the teacher's book, for which our partner Tredu, which is a big training center in Finland, is the leader. And the third task consists in aligning the contents of what has been produced for each country's environment. Actually, we consider that probably from one partner's country to the other, there will be some differences that we want to take into account. As far as the expected results, of course, we have the 2 books, which I've been calling, instead of using the word book, I've been using the word manuals, and I explain that a little later. These are what we expect. Of course, we want to develop theory, but the main we want to print 50 units of the student's book on paper, and we have engaged ourselves with a full electronic version on our each partner's learning platform. And for the teacher's book, which we've started working on, the teacher's book is a tool that we want to be very useful for the teacher in order to prepare the courses. It's a book that will give all the answers to the questions that the students will find in their books. But also, it will. What is very important is that we give very strong guidance for the teachers, so they can prepare their courses according to their environment. And we will print 20 units of that manual, and also it will go, of course, on our platforms, online platforms. So now, if we consider where we are on the WP3 package, we started as it was scheduled in May 2019, right after the validation of the work package 2, which is the curriculum. So what is very important, of course, is that we base all the structure, the contents of the manuals on what has been defined by all the partners in the curriculum. So we identified 17 units, dispatched in 3 categories. So the basic skills, which are just basic abilities and skills that the line conductor needs on his position and in the workshop. The common skills, the category common skills, deals with more technical things, but not very core technical unit skills. And we have the third one, the third category is the core units dealing with the process, how to succeed in developing the processes. So we identified 17 units, but the discussion is still open right now, since we just started the piloting, and I will deal with that a little later. And we may, this is not completely, discussion is not closed about that. We may have to merge maybe some units, but we will have to discuss that. The method. concerning the method, we as we started, and I thought about what was very important from the beginning was to give a framework for all the partners. We needed to know exactly how we were going to work, since writing a book is a big adventure, and especially because we were nine partners. We needed to have a very clear and structured framework. So what we suggested and what we agreed to do is to structure each unit with 7 sections. And the 7 sections, you have them here. We inspired ourselves from some manuals we have in general education, and the very important thing is here that we have a work-based learning book. So the 7 sections, we start with the objectives. The objectives, we take them out of the curriculum, of course, and after that we have a second section which is investigation activities. That section is the aim is to develop curiosity for the students and the willingness to go further. The third one is the documentary research through an article or a document or a video or something dealing with the subject of the unit. We give the possibility for the student to go further and look for more information through questions that we ask. That's a way to also to bring theory knowledge in that part. And then we have the heart of the unit is the practical activities, of course, which is right here. The objective here is to put the students in real situations, practical situations in the workshop, for example, if we talk about 4 units. And then the 5th section is the method sheet. If when that applies, of course, if we can give some method to the students, so we will do it here. Of course, not all the units maybe will need some to present any method, and then elements to remember. So that's the main knowledge that needs to be remembered. And we finished the unit with the complementary practical exercises of any type. What is very important here is the method is that we are really based on work-based learning. So the students will learn by doing. In order to organize the work on this with this method, we organized all the partners with unit leaders. So since we had 17 units, we have 17 leaders, and for each unit, we asked the partners to identify experts, and we constituted expert teams working with the unit leader. So each unit team was asked to develop the contents of the 7 sections of the unit. And in order to stimulate and have a very collaborative work, and we use a Google Drive, and we shared on the internet the documents, 2 main documents, which are the activity tracking. So we can every partner could see how far we were in the development of the sections for each unit. And also we have another part of the drive with where we can upload all the document that we created. So all the partners can share them and make comments and improve the work that been done.
Just to tell to our audience, we have about, I don't know, 15 to 20 people that are working on this work package. So it was definitely necessary to have this kind of, let's say, project management and view of activities.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So far, the student's manual has been completed. That was around the end of January this year. When I say that, I know, and we all know that we still need to go back to the contents and try to improve them. That's why we have the piloting package that will be very precious for us to improve the contents of the student's manual. But it's completed, so it's a very strong, a very good basis for us to go forward. So we'll review the contents, as I said, and also we noticed also that it was not so easy for all the partners to understand how we are going to work with all the learn by doing approach. So we know that some contents need to be adjusted to the framework we gave. Also, the review of the contents will help us to standardize the pedagogical level of the different sections. That's very important. So we have a high objective of high level quality level, and we know that we will have to standardize the sections between them. And also, what is very important is that we make sure that through all the activities we offer, we suggest for the students, is that all the objectives are aimed or covered. We have all the time, we have to go back to work package 2 and the objectives, so that we make sure that all the activities we suggest are in line with the objectives. Since we've finished the student's manual, we just launched the work on the teacher's manual, and on that part of the project, it's our partner Tredu, which is a training a vet center in Finland, which is the pilot. So we are working very closely together because, as I said before, the teacher's manual will have the same structure as the student's manual. So we decided, that was the option we chose. We decided that we keep in the teacher's manual all the contents of the student's manual, and we just add answers to all the questions and also guidance. As I said before, we give a strong guidance to the teacher. So he can have information about the purpose of the activity. He can, he knows how to organize the activity. Actually, we have some information about that, and also information about the estimated time and any other information that can help the teacher to set up the activities. That's the objective of the teacher's manual. So it's just, as I said, we just started working on that, and hopefully we can. We hope to finish it very fast. But we will also find now that it's also a lot of work to do for this guidance particularly. So for the piloting, just a word, and maybe Gershi can complete what I said, since ISPA is not the leader on this work package, because it's APRC, one of the other vet partners. So as Virginia said, here we just started the work package 4, which consists in the piloting of the outcomes of the outcomes developed in work package 2 and work package 3. So actually, as I said before, we are centered on the work-based learning. So we, as it was shown before, each partner now has to select groups of students and teachers also, which will be enrolled and participate to the improvement of all the knowledge and skills that are supposedly developed through the manual. We have 2 tasks here. The first one is to have, among all the partners, to select 20 trainers and 50 learners in the countries of the partners. And the task number 2 is to pilot and test all the training material, of course. So we have, as I said, APRC, our partner, who is the leader on this piloting. And I think that we have another slide. So far, the piloting started with, we have the expected results, of course, with the piloting and the certificate documents, because we are going to deliver at least 70 certificates for all the participants, either students or teachers.
Yeah, I would like to pop in here.
Go ahead.
I would like to say that this piloting activity of the whole week in Lithuania was extremely important and valuable for Lithuanian teachers, because French and Finnish teachers came to teach Lithuanian teachers. There weren't any students involved, only teachers of other subjects. And here in Lithuania, we only have few who are really experts on plastics. So this is a very valuable experience, and we see that it should have been probably planned at the start of the project to see what is the exact situation in Lithuania and compare, and maybe we would have changed something in our plans here. But I just want to stress that for the whole Europe, this attitude of sharing experience inside is extremely important, and we need to stay together and in order to, well, be strong and to be strong enough for our companies to be competitive with others, with Europe, with China, with United States. So we need to share our experience inside.
I agree, and this is actually a good example how the European cooperation, definitely when it comes to the education and learning, how it comes together, and how the partners from different countries with totally different experiences can work and produce material that potentially can be used throughout Europe. Not just to say to our viewers that we are, of course, targeting first these 3-4 countries that are part of the project, but we are hoping that the impact will be much, much wider. So I think this is an excellent example how one European project can, how different partners can collaborate and produce the results that are, you know, tangible and can be used right away.
Yes. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, I completely agree with both of you, of course. Just to complete with the piloting in Lithuania, I have the next slide, Virginia, please. Just one word on that. Since we had the Finnish partners going to Alytus in Lithuania, and we were 3 teachers from ISPA at Visaginas at VPM Center. actually it was a very interesting and impressive experience for the three of us. I can talk about the ISPA experience there, and I totally agree with Grażyna about the fact that we might have had this experience maybe earlier in the project, so we would have had a much clearer idea of the needs and what the collaboration we could develop. So now it's very clear what we can do together, and we experimented some units with the Lithuanian partners as students, and we also had the opportunity, and that was also a great opportunity to work inside a company in Pabrade, which is a special intersurgical plant in Pabrade, which is specialized in unfortunately it's in the actuality the company is specialized in respiratory systems for the medical. So it was a very interesting experience working with the process manager, who showed us all the company, the plant, the equipments, and also the people working there. And it was we gathered precious information for the manual, for the students' manual. So now we have to discuss that, because we have a lot of suggestions to make to improve the manual. Okay. So that's about it. I didn't have the opportunity to go to Alytus, with the Finnish partners, but I know that they had the same experience, and the stay there for 1 week was organized the same way. For the next piloting actions, as Grażyna said, we also have to experiment inside our institutions, and we will have to gather teachers, apprentices, employees also from plastic converting companies, unemployed persons maybe, and any adults seeking requalifications. This is the second part. Unfortunately, with the problem of the epidemic right now, it's put on standby for now, but we hope that we can completely go to the develop all the aspects of this project, and particularly WP4 here, with the time frame which was fixed to June 2020, but we know now that we will have to go further, probably, and ask for that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finished here with that part of our webinar.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So we are close to the finish, I would say, but also if you have any questions, please do type them in. You have a questions part here at the dashboard, so feel free to ask any questions. I just collected a couple. So there was a question, we will share the presentation at the end. Yes, this will be shared with all the people that registered the webinar. There was a couple of questions. They're interested, what comes after work package 4? So what are the next steps once the pilot is done? Collected all the input, and then we adjusted all the materials. Then what? I can say from my side that we will organize a final event in Brussels that was supposed to be in September. We'll probably have to do this now a couple of months later. But then what are the actual steps when it comes to the project itself?
Okay, I may answer. So we will have 2 months dedicated to make amendments in the VET curriculum and in the training program. So after the piloting, there will be a report and suggestions on what should be changed. We will need to discuss it with all the partners and to get their approval. And if they do approve, we will work on these documents to make changes so that it would be the whole material would be relevant. And after that, sure, we will have a final conference when we have the final material to present in the conference and to spread the news for everyone.
Okay. Also, there were a couple of questions asking if this can be translated for any other, let's say, specific VAT, not just focusing on lean conductors and the plastics industry. Is there a chance that this kind of curriculum can be translated into some other, I guess, industries or some other VAT programs that exist? I guess, what is your opinion?
Well, yes, all these materials are being shared, and well, they are free of using in their own ways. Anyone can take it and maybe translate it to their own languages and adapt to their needs and use what is needed there. No problem.
Yeah, just that our viewers understand, as Mark said, this is definitely learning by doing. We do have obstacles like every project, but I think so far we managed to overcome them. And this is definitely what we intend to do in the future, and to produce the quality material for our students and teachers. So this was, I clustered all the questions into 2-3 main important parts. We're coming to the end of our webinar for today. So thank you, Grażyna and Mark. It was definitely a pleasure to host you and to bring closer the upskill to the general public, all the companies, VAT institutions, and people that are working in the industry. So in my name and also in the name of UPC, I would like to thank our viewers and to remind everyone to register for our next webinar. It will be on the Poland Inspire projects of 14th of May. So until then, I wish everyone a nice day. Please stay healthy and goodbye.
Thank you, Mariam. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you both.